Welcome to Katalemwa Cheshire Home, where quality rehabilitation services drive beneficiaries to total hope, love, and happiness. Rising above disability inspires our day-to-day living.
Our mandate is to provide rehabilitation, quality rehabilitation, to children and youth with disabilities.
Here, children with disability will benefit from various services like occupational therapy, physiotherapy.
Our interventions are quite broad, so we have interventions in the area of medical rehab. So this includes things like therapies, physiotherapy, occupational therapy, nursing care, orthopedic care. Then we also have the big component of work is also providing assistive devices. At Katalemwa we have an orthopedic workshop where we fabricate, train and fit people with disabilities who need assistive devices.
Katalemwa was established in the 1970s to offer rehabilitation, early learning, fabrication of assistive devices, and skilling of the beneficiaries.
Welcome to Katalemwa Cheshire Home Rehabilitation Services. The workshop comprises of 4 sections. We have the metal section, wood section, plastic section, and leather section. Appliances in the workshop are custom made. For example, this one is made for a cerebral palsy child. We have a tricycle. This is called a 3-wheeler, non-foldable. We have a tricycle. This one is modified for a child. It has a toilet seat in it, adjustable backrest. All these are made for different types of clients.
With the increasing demand, especially for assistive devices, we are glad that through our partners, Rotary, we are being supported to expand the workshop. Ideally, every year, our output at the workshop is we produce over 5,000 assistive devices for children with disabilities. So these are piece per piece, 5,000. So the expansion of the workshop is going to really improve on one, the quality of what we produce, the quality of assistive devices. Then 2, it's going to create enough space whereby those who are working in the workshop feel safe and can also work in a fairly good environment that does not affect their health like how it has been. But for the beneficiaries, of course the expansion of the workshop is not only coming with just expanding of space, but it's also coming with new technology.
Currently we're using arc welding and gas welding.
So with this new technology, our efficiency is going to improve. We believe that the time it takes to produce one assistive device is going to really reduce. That means that our output is going to increase, and not only the output, but also the quality of the assistive devices we shall be producing. The social component of our program looks at empowering people with disabilities to be able to live within their communities, to be integrated within what's happening in their communities. But of course, our programs are also linked. Like, for example, when you look at the medical program, it fits well within, for example, education. For most children with disabilities, one of the hindrances of acquiring education would be that they don't have an assistive device. So in here we do contribute to programs like integral education for children. We also do support livelihoods. Like, for example, an adult who has an occupation or who has some skill might not be able to move from home to their place of work. But when we provide them with a tricycle, they are able to move from their home. So in there, our activities here also do promote things like livelihoods. Under the medical part, we have the medical unit where we provide therapies.
What we do here in orthopedics, we keep on putting plasters gradually, until we achieve the full extension we need. So, in a nutshell, we correct physical deformities. On a daily basis, I can work on like 5 to 10 clients. So you find as Katalemwa we have dealt with thousands of clients, thousands of success stories. But we have key success stories which I can maybe refer to because we also recruit them in the system. So you find they come as clients, we recruit them, they become employees in the long run. The good example here is we have a client who is called Peter Senyonga.
Najjanga omulwadde mu Katalemwa kuba nali eyo waffe ne bajja ne bampiikinga ne bandeeta mu Katalemwa ne bantereeza ne bampayo ne chance nsobole okuyiga ebintu eby'abantu abaliko obulemu, okuyiga emirimu gy'omu mutwe, okugeza okwokya omuliro, standing frame, walker ne free wheelers.
This Senyonga Peter, the leg was too bent to the outside that he cannot walk normally, but with the rehabilitation and operations, we have tried to correct him, and if you see him, you really can appreciate. Then there is another lady called Vanessa. Vanessa also had bow legs, but it was too severe, as if she was about to walk with the knees. But right now, she's so straight and perfect. So, for the years I've spent in Katalemwa, I've not seen a case which has really failed completely. We also have conditions like Genuvarus or Vitege, as people call it. We have Valgus Nkobogo. We have also Ricavetum, the knees hyperextending. So all those ones, sometimes when the child comes when they are young, we correct them. When they are old, we opt for surgical means, and we do referrals. For referrals, we always refer children who need surgeries, and surgeries we deal with orthopedic surgeries and plastic surgeries. So those surgeries are done from partner hospitals like KOSU, and we do the post-surgical rehabilitation. Then for other physical disabilities like fractures, we fix the fractures, we reduce them, and the deformities which come with other conditions like cerebral palsy, other conditions like osteomyelitis. You find a child is born, is okay, gets an infection, the bones break, so we have to fix them again.
The categories of children that we work with are children with mostly physical and what we call the neurodevelopmental disabilities. So these are a range of disabilities that affect someone in different ways. So for orthopedic or physical disabilities, one, we provide therapy.
Tokata kugwa like this, kanyeze. Good. We get children here who cannot sit, those with behavior challenges, those with development delay, those from surgeries like for upper limbs to improve their performance and hand use.
We also, through our partners, support children acquire essential surgeries or what we call corrective surgeries. And we also support children with, for example, most children who come here have issues with, for example, how they function. Children with neurodevelopmental disorders have problems with how they function. So we train children on how to be able to for example, participate in the day, in the activities of daily living. Things like being able to dress yourself, being able to feed yourself, being able to bathe, toileting. So under medical, those are there. But also when parents are here, because we also operate center-based services. So when parents are here, we also engage the caregivers of these children in various ways. We have programs here on adult literacy. So when parents are here for maybe 2 weeks, we introduce them to literacy, adult literacy programs, writing their names, counting money. We also have a farm where we also train, actually our farm is a demonstration farm, where we train caregivers on how to do proper farming so that they're able to provide children with nutrition. Actually, almost 70 or more than 70% of our work happens in the communities. So we work in the communities, and in these communities we work with already existing structures. We don't go in the community and create different things. For example, if there's a hospital, if there's a rehabilitation center, we partner and work with these rehabilitation centers by trying to build capacity of their staff to be able to manage children with disabilities. To also, sometimes also we give them some tools to be able to use in their day-to-day work. But of course, much of what we are doing is, of course, as an organization, we can do this much. We can't do a lot of things. So our programs are also looking at trying to lobby other, especially lobbying different actors. For example, local governments at sub-county levels, at district levels, the national government. Also try to work with other stakeholders, for example, NGOs in the community, to be able to build their capacity, to be able to mainstream disability in their programs. Our interventions at that start early have enabled many people with disabilities to become independent in many aspects of their life. Every year, from our center-based services and community-based services, we reach out to 15,000 beneficiaries, or people with disabilities. So those, when I say 50,000, they are those that are direct and indirectly. So our work is basically to become a catalyst. We've managed to build the capacity of communities to be able to integrate in their day-to-day activities disability aspects. Like, for example, a school in the community would be able to admit or enroll children with disabilities from our interventions. So that we've managed to do. So creating a community which is inclusive, which is able to accommodate the needs of people with disabilities. Then two, we've also managed to ensure that those that are responsible, the leaders, the community leaders, are aware about the needs of people with disabilities, and not only aware, but on how to be able to address the needs of these people.
Much as the Centre has experienced numerous achievements, a number of challenges in the 50 years journey have hindered the progress of Katalemwa Cheshire Home.
Over the last 50 years, of course, as an organization, we've faced several challenges. And most of the challenges have also been around the area of funding. Of course, they are in this country, the past census say that there are over 2 million children with disabilities in this country. And that's an enormous number. But when you look at what the resources that are at disposal to be able to reach out to many people with disabilities, we are challenged in trying to reach out to many people with disabilities. Because one, resources. Then two, we as an organization, we realize that despite the fact that we are working so hard to empower these people with disabilities through provision of medical care, assistive devices, education, sometimes at the end of it all, we are still challenged by people with disabilities trying to, for example, live a decent quality life. Because most of them, despite the fact that they can have knowledge, skills, very few of them can find employment and can live a decent life. Then, of course, the stigma is also still there in the community. The stigma, the discrimination in the education system, the discrimination at the workplace, it's all affecting our work. But one of the challenges that we also see is that increasingly the number of people with disabilities is increasing. Of course, like the population is increasing, but the services themselves are also not increasing. So as an organization, we are increasingly becoming overwhelmed because there are not so many actors in this area.
Amidst all challenges, there is hope that Katalemwa Cheshire Home sees projects light at the end of tunnel.
The future plan of Katalemwa is to really empower, to try to work more in the area of lobbying and advocacy, trying to build the capacity of the services that are existing already in the communities, to be able to take up, to be able to include or mainstream disability in their services, such that people with disabilities do not have to travel long distances to come to Katalemwa to seek for a service. So our dream is to ensure that rehabilitation is fully taken up by government structures at all levels, that as an organization, we believe that when this is taken up, that when rehabilitation is fully taken up by government or by local government, it will enable us function more or to carry out activities in a far much better manner.
While located along Gayaza Road in Imperere, Nammerich Road, Katalemwa Cheshire Home, rising above disability.